has to. I mean, we have to keep looking at the glass half full instead of half empty, and just kind of know that, tomorrow we all hopefully will wake up, the sun will shine. Hopefully, this is LA, and just keep trying to get better.
With Xavier possibly out for the year, that's 3 guys now.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen anything like that in your 13, 14 years of coaching?
I would have to think back, but I mean, just to this short notice asking that question, no. And just the way it happened today, it was just, obviously it brought practice straight down, where we just ended practice and went to, get our free throws and things like that in, and we'll get ready for practice tomorrow. But, to know the kid the way I know him and how hard he's worked, obviously we're all very hurt for Xavier, because we know that he had worked his butt off to get back. So down day for us, but, we'll be ready to go to work tomorrow and get ready for Wednesday's game.
Coach, what happened to Xavier? Can you take us through the play or the drill?
It was just 3-on-3, basically, and he just made a move, just like most guys do when they mess up their Achilles, and nobody hit him or anything like that. He went down and pretty much said to us that he heard a pop, and we helped him in the locker room, and Kobe and Booz were in there with him, but obviously he was devastated, so all of us tried to give him as much support as we can. And then you come out and try to finish up the rest of the day, and like I said, move forward and get ready for tomorrow.
Byron, do you sometimes say to yourself, what next? What else can possibly happen?
I try not to, Jim, because it might rear its ugly head and show me what's next. I just go home tonight. We'll say a prayer for Xavier and the rest of the guys that we have that are injured, and hope they all recover, fully and get ready for next year. But as a coach, all you can do right now is go with what you got and keep these guys working. We got to stay positive, obviously, and a lot of that depends on me, which I'm always positive. So, we'll be fine.
Coach, third and fourth quarters last night offensively were like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. What was the biggest difference?
I thought really for us, we just missed shots. We had a bunch of great looks, in the fourth quarter as well as in the third quarter, and we just missed them. Unfortunately, I thought, the good part of that game is that on the defensive end, we did what we wanted to do for 4 quarters. We really did. We gave ourselves that opportunity, but offensively, we just couldn't throw it in the ocean. And that's basically what it kind of comes down to. I mean, we missed some free throws, obviously, at the end, and then big offensive rebound that gave them another shot at it, which they hit a 3. It was almost a backbreaker.
I thought Jeremy Lin may have over-dribbled a little bit in the first half, but was solid in the second half. Give me a script of how you want him to play consistently for you.
Pretty much that way in the second half. Really make quick decisions, move the ball. If you got a shot, take the shot. If you got a drive, take your drive. And I think he got better at it, like you said, last night in the second half. The first half was a little bit more trying to search for me. Second half was searching for his teammates. So it's one of those things that he has to continue to develop, that point guard mentality. And I thought in the second half he did a much better job on both ends of the floor.
Byron, what did Derrick tell you on how Carlos' shoulder is and Ed's ankle?
Ed's ankle a little sore. Just thought it would be smart not to have him do anything today. We'll see how he feels tomorrow. Carlos' shoulder's still sore. We'll see how he feels tomorrow. So both those guys are obviously for Wednesday or day to day, and I would say probable for Wednesday. But I think tomorrow we can get a little bit more of a clear answer.
What worst case scenario? Who would fill in that spot if both of those guys aren't?
I'll think about that Wednesday. I'm not going to think about that right now.
Coach,
Jeremy Lin was just talking a little while ago about in his career, he's gone through seasons like this at the beginning. What about you?
As far as the way we're playing or the record and everything or the injuries.
Well, it's almost like record and injuries.
Yeah, it kind of goes hand in hand sometimes, I've gone through this before, so this is not new to me, always seem to rise to the top. So I'm not worried about it. Like I said, we just got to make sure we stay positive as a team and just keep moving forward. A lot of great signs that we had last night. So we just got to, rely on those signs, but also show the guys the things that we didn't do well and kind of make sure that we get better at those things. But again, the biggest thing for us is always have an opportunity to win the game, and we had that. We blew it, but we had that.
If there's a comparison, is it that one year in New Orleans where Byron was kind of in and out? I think the team won 18 or 19 games or something.
Yeah, we had Byron. I think it was even Mashburn had retired because he was hurt. So we had similar circumstances. Then we made a trade and got a bunch of young guys in. end up with, I think, 18 wins. You're right. You know, then next year we draft CP. You know, so we got lucky. You know, there. So I'm not saying that this is that type of season. You know, as of right now, but it's leaning that way as far as the injuries are concerned and things like that. But I still think we have much more talent here than we did my first year in New Orleans.
Coach, you did some good things defensively for sure in that game, but the three ball has still been a problem defensively. How do you correct that? Teams seem to just be able to come in and just get red hot from behind the arc. Yeah,
I think at a point in time in the third quarter, they really, you know, caught us by surprise with some of the ones that they made. You know, Wilson Chandler, who I think is a good basketball player, but I don't look at him as a guy that can knock down 5 threes in a game. You know, but I think when you take 37 threes, you're going to knock down a few of them. You know, their percentage wasn't great, but they made some timely threes. I think that's the key. You know, they made them at the times where they really needed them. If we had a 3 or 4 point lead or a 5 point lead and had a chance to kind of get away, they come down and knock down a 3, and those are the ones that really hurt you. You know, so defensively, like I said, we're trying to take it one step at a time. I thought we did a much better job of contesting shots last night, but the three ball, obviously is something that we got to continue to get better at.
Cleaning up the glass, offensive rebounds seem to be a problem as well. How do you correct that?
Well, our guys got to be a little bit more conscious of blocking out. We can't get in jumping contests with teams. These teams, big teams like Denver, they're bigger than we are, and most of the time their front line is more athletic than ours. So we got to be fundamentally sound. We got to, shot goes up, we got to find the body, put a body on that body, and then go and get the basketball. And I thought last night at times they had 14 offensive rebounds because we just turned and watched the ball, and they just climbed over our backs, and they're long enough to do that. So fundamentally sound on that end of the floor, especially when the ball goes up, really help us.
What'd you like about Sacre's game?
Robert, I thought, played one of his best games. He was a presence down there. He was physical. He did a great job of communicating. And, that mid-range shot is something that he worked on all summer long, and he was able to knock that down last night and got to the free throw line.
What stuff did Kobe do to that?
I told Kobe to just get a few shots up and relax. It's a process. When you have a year off, and come back and work as hard as he worked. Training camp, especially mine, is normally going to take your legs away from you for a couple of weeks. And then you get them back for about a week or two, and then the season kind of hits you because of the traveling and the games. They come constantly. I think he's at that point right now where it's hitting him, and he just needs a couple of days to kind of relax and recuperate, and I think he'll get that lift in his legs back. But, I just told him today and tomorrow, just come in here, take a few shots, no running up and down, no jumping and all that stuff, try to relax as much as possible.
You've had that range all season, 30 to 40. Does that prompt you to go lower in that scale in hopes for him to come back, or still kind of keep it where it is?
Still kind of keep it where it is. What it does is prompt me to just give him more days off than anything, so I can keep it in that 30 to 40 range.
What's been you obviously known Kobe over the years, but what's the experience been like so far just coaching him?
It's been great. We have a lot in common, obviously, and we have the same type of goals, and he was upset with himself because he said everything he was shooting was short. And I said, well, that's, expected. When you haven't played that long, you miss that many, miss that length of time being a year off, and then you come back, basically with a bang, because that adrenaline is flowing, and sooner or later during the season it's going to kind of catch up to you, and then we just got to, rejuvenate and get back there, and he will, But I think, this week at home, getting a couple of days off here and there, will definitely help him.
How does that compare to coaching some of the other stars you've had over your career with Casey Kidd, Chris Paul?
Well, it's a lot like coaching CP, because the one thing, or it's a few things they have in common. They're both competitive as hell. They don't like losing. They want to compete in everything. They both want to be on the floor at all times. So it's a lot of similarities, especially with those two guys. But they're also, for me at least, they've been, very easy to talk to and coach, because like I said, we have a lot in common, and we have the same type of vision. And I think it's important.
B 86-86 end of regulation. Take us through that last play.
Just wanted to get Kobe the ball in space, and wanted to see what they were going to do, if they were going to play him straight up or if they were going to double him. And we tried to put shooters all on the perimeter, but we definitely wanted to leave it with either we win the game or we're going in overtime. Didn't want to leave any time on the clock.